Hi, Mr. Hanson. It's absolutely my pleasure to be sending this video out to you today and to join many others in honoring you for the incredible musical excellence that you shared with all of us lucky students in the Findlay High School Orchestra for so many years. And I think the thing that stands above all the other memories is just the fact that you showed the same amount of consistent energy, passion every single day in that orchestral room, whether we were playing a transcription or a straight up Mahler symphony, which is impeccable and amazing for a public high school orchestra to even be able to play a repertoire of that level. But you showed incredible exuberance every single day. And I know firsthand as a musician, it takes so much passion to sustain that throughout a career. And I'm so just more and more, the older I get, impressed with what you were able to give to us. I actually attribute the fact that I'm a musician to you. And the reason for that is the first day I sat in that orchestra and played oboe way back in the room, was first day of 9th grade for me. I was mesmerized by being in the center of the sound with an incredible brass section and winds around me, and of course the huge amount of strings that we had in 19. I'll just say that from that day on, I made a commitment in my own heart, and I said, no matter how hard it is, how little money I make, I will be a musician and I will fight to be a musician. And I think of you often leading from that podium and instilling and catalyzing all of us with this passion for music. And you see how long those legs are, whether we've chosen to play professionally for the rest of our lives or support others that do, or just continue to be engaged with music. And so I hope you feel so surrounded and loved. And I'm so thankful to have really worked with you under your tenure. And I also have one more memory, and that is one day you wanted us to hear the dramatic arc that Mahler created in Mahler 4, the famous Adagietto, right? Also a harpist stream. And the way you articulated and helped us listen in the moment to the way this incredible, masterful composer created a perfect dramatic arc. And in the moment you were describing what was happening, it was magic. I'll never forget that. I mean, I was like 14 years old. Thank you so much for all that you do, and sending you all our love.
Hi, Mr. Hanson. Congratulations on your induction to the Marathon Performing Arts Center Wall of Fame. This honor is so deserved, and I wanted to take a moment to record this message to tell you and the community more about the impact you've had on me as a musician and also as a music educator. I was so lucky that you were my orchestra teacher from 6th through 12th grade. I remember more than anything your passion, your extreme passion for all of your students, that we would each achieve our highest potential. You were persistent, incredibly persistent, especially at 7 in the morning sometimes, that we would use great posture, play with vibrato, read music of an incredibly high caliber, and of course that we would never, ever, ever chew gum in orchestra. And I remember many walks from the orchestra members when you would catch one of us and we would the whole orchestra would stop and we would make that very long trek, embarrassingly, over to the trash can. Those may seem like very little things, but they were actually quite big things. And that insistence on us getting these little things perfect built us as your orchestra students into more diligent and high achieving people. Your constantly high expectations helped us not only succeed at achieving superior ratings at state contests, but also becoming superior people who had the ability to persevere at hard things, pay attention to details, and to ultimately succeed in our lives. My current career is as a strings teacher and a choral director in St. John's Prep in Danvers, Massachusetts. I was inspired by your leadership to become a music teacher, and I can't think of a greater teacher to have learned from. I continue to use to this day the Findlay City Schools curriculum as a reference in my own orchestra program. I'm honored to have had the best orchestra teacher in the state of Ohio to learn from as a student violinist and now as a practicing music educator. Thank you so much for the gift you've given to me and to all of the Findlay City Orchestra members over your long and distinguished career, Mr. Hanson. Congratulations again on this honor, and all the best for continued health and happiness in the years to come.
Hello, my name is Jason Bash, and I am a former student of the one and only Dave Hanson. I was lucky enough to be in Mr. Hanson's orchestra as a trumpet player, and I will never forget the experiences I had as a musician in Mr. Hanson's orchestra. The sheer caliber of musicianship he brought to the table was a force in and of itself. But then the level of musicianship he was able to pull from the high school students at Findlay High School still boggles my mind. I recently saw a performance on Facebook of our Pops concert. We played A Night on Bald Mountain by Modest Mussorgsky, and I was in tears. I had no idea how incredible our orchestra sounded, and I just was living it. I was able to experience that music as a 17-year-old, and I am forever grateful for Dave Hanson and bringing that experience to me as a musician and now as a music educator. I'm so grateful for his model, what a role model, and his passion and dedication to those students is something that you can't fake. So Mr. Hanson, thanks for everything you did for me as a musician and a music educator, and thank you for everything you gave to the rest of those students at Findlay High School, including my brothers and sisters, because we love being in your class and are so proud to have been part of the FHS orchestra with you as our teacher.
Hi, Mr. Hanson. I just wanted to say congratulations on your induction into the Wall of Fame. I can't think of anyone more deserving of an honor like this. They asked me to share a few memories or some fun stories about my time in orchestra, and I could do that, but some of those fun stories might implicate some of us for some pranks that we may or may not have pulled over the years. So instead, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for the effort that you put into the program that you built within Findlay City Schools. It's truly one of a kind. It's an amazing program. The legacy of the program lives on. You are such a great educator that cares so much about his students over time. Even me today, I started in 4th grade, and 35 approximately years later, you're still a big part of my life. And that's not something that I think many students get to experience. The effort that you put into the program was obvious. I mean, you cared so much about it. You cared so much about your students. You definitely let us realize how valuable a music education is. Every morning we would come into orchestra class and you would have a different song playing, and you would start the period by telling us about the song and the history and the composer, and that's information that you don't get in a normal classroom setting. We would have the Pops concert, the musicals, the All-City Orchestra concerts. We grew up thinking that it was perfectly normal to have a high school experience that included a 100+ piece full symphonic orchestra. And at the time, I don't think we realized how privileged we were to have that opportunity. But looking at what's out there today in some of the schools, we see that that's just not a normal thing. So it definitely changes the lives of all of your students. Even if we're not playing our instruments anymore or not doing anything in our career that relate back to music, we are the people that we are today because of the effort that you put into the program and the impact that you had on our lives. So I just wanted to say thank you. Again, I wish we could be there in person to celebrate, but you definitely deserve this award, and congratulations.